Therefore, this whole debate, if some Muslims are arrested, to link up with all the Muslims on India is regrettable, and I condemn it with all the authority at my command. The threat of terrorism from Indian Mujahideen, earlier Simi, which was banned, Jamaat-e-Dawa, Lashkar-e is all too real. We need to understand that. And I'm sure, I'm completely there with the gentleman, my friend Mr. Jilani from Lucknow, that even many right-thinking Muslims in the country also feel deeply offended by the kind of whole politics going about. Those who are terrorists need to be condemned. The law must be allowed to take its course. And when I'm sitting here, even if Abhinav Bharat is wrong, take all the action in accordance with law. Because the threat of terrorism is too real.
Absolutely.
And as far as the personal comment on Ajit Doval is concerned, I completely condemn it. Ajit Doval has been a very distinguished security expert. We are proud of him. He can have a differences with him, but to say these kind of language on a day when 5 people have been
let
killed,
him back,
on a
let
day
him defend himself.
When Providence has saved thousands of people being massacred, it is completely
let him defend himself.
And regrettable, and I condemn it very, very strongly.
The former IB director is now has the right to defend himself vis-a-vis the point which was indirectly made to him. I think the point which Assaudin Owaisi said when he said there are people who want to be national security advisor in a BJP government was aimed at Ajit Doval, and I think Ajit Doval has the right to respond to Assaudin Owaisi. I think at one point, and I want to say this, whether it is anybody who masquerades and cheats Hindus by saying I will use violence to fight for Hindus, or whether anyone who masquerades and cheats Muslims or any other religion saying I will use violence to fight for Muslims, both sides, let me say with all the force at my command, are cheating the people they claim to represent. Ajit Doval is now responding to Assaudin Owaisi.
Okay, Mr. Owaisi raised 3 points. I'm taking the last point first. I totally agree that no innocent Muslim, Hindu or any citizen of this country should be subjected to any pressure, torture, coercion. Number one. Second point he raised was, what is the lack of political will, and how do I say that there is a lack of political will? In the Chief Minister's Conference in 2012, when there was so much of an evidence about the IM's nationwide activities and Darbhanga model becoming extremely important as a route to Nepal, as the people coming and staying there, and also the people who are getting married and finding safe sanctuaries there, Mr. Nitish Kumar in the Chief Minister's Conference told that I take a strong exception of your referring to the Darbhanga model. It is wrong to specify any particular locality rather than taking any action against that. When in his press conference yesterday, he said that there has been no security failure. Thrice he repeated it. This denial that this failure is not there is itself that there is a lack of political will to say that
gentlemen, I'm taking a comment from Zafaryab Jilani because he's been excluded in large part of the debate. And a reminder to our viewers tonight that the Congress party has to respond also.
Arnab, I have to go. Can I make last point, Arnab? Arnab, can I?
Yes,
I have
Mr.
to go.
Prasad, briefly, yes, please.
Just one line. Arnab, the real problem is the vote bank politics. In Uttar Pradesh, accused of serious terrorist offence, you know it very well, cases were sought to be withdrawn against them. But the court took a tough stand. Today is the day at least to be honest. Politics will go, but country's security is equally important. And when you put vote bank politics, deeming that we can get Muslim vote only like this.
Assaudin Owaisi gets 10 seconds to 20 seconds to respond before you leave. Assaudin Owaisi, quick response. Zafaryab Jilani after that. Ravi Shankar Prasad, you stay for 2 minutes, please. Hear both responses before you go. Assaudin Owaisi.
To Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, vote bank politics. I mean, can you please tell me that the attack on Parliament was because of vote bank politics, Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad? Was the attack on Parliament, was the attack on in Gujarat 2008, Mr. Prasad, there were bomb blasts in Ahmedabad. Was that because of vote bank politics? Please don't use vote bank politics.
Zafaryab Jilani.
My point over here is that, I want to comment over here that make IB accountable to the Parliament, which no one is agreeing. Mr. Arnab Goswami, you must say, your program must say the IB must be accountable. IB has become a holy cow.
Retain the independence now
and there are many officers in IB who are against a particular community. That is why this problem will continue.
Mr. Jilani, the Intelligence Bureau does not also need to take the right to speak what it wants to from politicians. Zafaryab, Jilani, very briefly. Then the news hour. I have a question. Yes, please, Mr. Jilani.
Arnab, can I leave?
Firstly, I would like to rebut the charge of Mr. Prasad that any terrorist case against any terrorist has been withdrawn. The government has made investigation and inquiry, and there is a judicial report, Judicial Commission report, Nimesh Commission report, which says that the arrest of these persons, Khalid Mujahid and Tariq Qasmi, etc., was false and fake. Therefore, they have cases against them has been withdrawn.
Okay.
And the High Court is examining that matter. High Court has not yet decided anything. But I say with full force, that no terrorist should be spared.
And don't mix religion with terrorism. Don't mix religion with terrorism. If anybody goes after a terror group, don't link it to a religion. That's a simple point. Or a community.
The only thing is which has been said, Mr. Doval, that no innocent person should be
arrested. So now one point here on Newshour. I have a question. I said I'll take some calls. Amee Yagnik, you know what the Home Minister did. Here are the pictures of what the Home Minister did. My first caller, Newshour, I have a question, was on the behavior of the Home Minister who went to a filmy party instead of doing his job yesterday after the blast happened. Ankush is my first caller. Let's put the pictures up. Ankush, what do you think of what the Home Minister did? Just reduce the volume of your TV screen, otherwise you won't be able to hear. I won't be able to hear you.
Yeah. Hi, Arnab. Hello. Yeah. It is very important to hear what Mr. Shinde said. He said, in spite of the blast in Patna, I desperately wanted to join this party. This event occurred 3 hours. Remember, 3 hours after the Patna blast, and our Home Minister was saying that I desperately wanted to join this party. Need we say anything more?
Well, Ankush, point is taken. Next caller. Ankush, thanks for calling. Mr. Kulkarni is calling from Kolhapur. So many people talking about what Sushil Kumar Shinde has done out there. Yes, please, Mr. Kulkarni.
Yeah, you say Shivraj Patil or Shinde, both lie in the same boat. Both
unfortunately.
Are in the same boat. My question is actually, Owaisi is referring always to pointing at one particular community, but that's not the entire truth. What sequence of events you have told here, it clearly indicates that there is a larger conspiracy, I think, behind this thing, that probably it was pointing towards Mr. Modi, so that if something goes wrong, then probably still larger picture might have emerged.
Yeah, that's Mr. Kulkarni, thank you for calling. Thank you for coming on Newshour. I have a question. I'm not going to extend this debate. I'm going to stop right here, but just one point goes out. The day you divorce any attempt at looking at terrorism from a lens of a community, that day perhaps we'll have the will to take on terror. Amee Yagnik, you know, what Mr. Shinde has done is going to be talked about. You won't have much space, Amee Yagnik, to defend it. Would you like to say something just before I conclude?
Arnab, your channel is the most viewed, your program is the most viewed program. Today I say that this topic should be above all kind of blame game. And the political will you are talking about, let there be a collective political will. Political will cannot be only of one party. Let all the parties have a collective political will, and the terror attacks are affecting all the citizens of this country. So let the debate be on the solution part instead of concentrating on the blame game and taking views which do not lead to any solutions. There is a political will at the center. The NIA is doing its work. Let us ask the NIA about the investigation reports, and let us go for solutions rather than arguing on the blame game and taking statements of one political party, pointing fingers on the point it started, instead of coming out with a very positive and a very proactive stand that we should be working towards the safety and security of the nation.
Amee Yagnik, thank you very much. Assaudin Owaisi, Zafaryab, Jilani and Ajit Doval, thank you very much. On the other side, we have big disclosures that are coming up in our 6-part investigation on Colgate.